haven't received their stipends. Prices for food for students have been lowered. Prices in Russia, in St. Petersburg, immediately after Yeltsin's departure, the bread industry raised prices. Sobchak, the mayor, said this was a provocation and canceled the prices. In Moscow, you can buy sausage very cheap today from the Ostanka meat factory. And not only from this factory. They used to publish 250 tons. Yesterday's only 146, but they sold only 6. So they tried to sell it off so they wouldn't end up with spoiled meat. Now we have beef sides going for 146 to 150 rubles per kilogram. And prices might go over 200 and may already have gone over. So this is real inflation. Let's just hope that this doesn't get totally out of hand. We Russian foreigners are having a hard time of it in Ukraine. We don't have any coupons, but even the locals don't have any coupons either. We weren't given any, and they were given only enough to go to the store twice. Well, you'd think so. You have to forget about prices and buy whatever you have, whatever you need with rubles. But there's nothing to buy with rubles. But our neighbors are blockading the borders. So there is an attempt here in the banks for people to put their savings. What is the fate of these investments? We are interested. This is the chairman of the Ukrainian Bank. We are interested in these savings. We want a monetary reform. We needed monetary reform. And the deposits, the savings deposits, should have special status and should be exchanged for the new Ukrainian money. We're talking a lot lately about coupon credit, as it's called. People use it, but they end when it amounts to 30, 40, 50,000 rubles even. But you yourself have said that coupons will be circulating only for a few months. We today have not stated that the coupon is the equivalent of the ruble. Now, as for all sorts of currency which may be issued, there will be a law on the state debt in which we might include these amounts under the national Ukrainian debt and thus be able to pay off the population on their credit fully. The participants of the Supreme Soviet meeting demand the resignation of some of the government members. The situation there is like that in Russia. They're accusing the government of being incompetent. This logo means News One. From the mining areas, we have troubling news. There is a wave of strikes about to take place. We have learned that in the Russian mines there are no strikes yet, but the miners are ready to strike. A miner has to spend 70 rubles to get lunch in the mine. In Vorkuta, for example, the miners have not received their salaries even for November. So the Orsky-Khaliutsky metallurgical factory may shut down. There's a shortage of coke in some areas. 15 blast furnaces here have been shut off. We've had a drop in production by 15 million tons. This situation is a very painful one. There's nothing to pay salaries with. There's no money for reconstruction. And although the government has raised prices for coal, there's much higher prices now for supporting timbers, equipment, and there's no money to maintain the mines, so production is dropping. So how can we prevent the mines from being unprofitable? They have to be privatized, transformed into stock companies. We see a growth in direct agreement deliveries. There is a very amateur-like attitude toward what's going on here. The mines are growing older and older, and the equipment is unusable. And in the Kuzbas, the miners are without resources and without the ability to earn money. In Dzerzhinsk, there are 18,000 miners who are unemployed because they ran out of support timbers. In the mines, they've used up all the state reserves. But to prepare the mines, to even shut them down and prevent any collapses of the mines, the miners are forced to chop down the trees along the roads. The reduction in coal production may lead to a shutdown of steel production, and thousands of consumers in Russia and Ukraine will be likewise left without work. We had planned to give this report yesterday. This is in Armenia, but we ran out of, there was no energy, and we couldn't take any pictures. The energy situation in Armenia, the lack of gasoline and heating oil is catastrophic. There is electricity only 6 hours a day in the cities and 4 hours in the countryside. The enterprises have stopped working. There is energy only for the bakeries and the hospitals. Kindergartens are closed down for more than a month. Its children have not been studying. There is a critical situation, and so that's why we have a new Ministry of Energy and Fuel. This important ministry was created and headed up by an Armenian from America, Sepuh Tashchan. He is convinced that the crisis can be overcome in the very near future. The Russian Parliament today ratified the agreement on the relations between Lithuania and Russia. The agreement was signed a half year ago when the political situation was quite different. But there are still arguments going on. The Lithuanian authorities have been accused of neglecting the rights of national minorities and the army. There has been fear expressed that the residents of the Kaliningrad Oblast may suffer since it is separated from Russia by Lithuania. Andrei Kozyrev, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia, stated that there would be cooperation with the nearby foreign countries, and he would do everything to ensure the observance of Russian interests in Lithuania. We will be utilizing world prices and having national clearing accounts and utilizing the American dollar. We used to sell oil for 70 rubles a ton, and now it'll be $128 a metric ton. The supporters of ratification won out. There were direct negotiations with the Lithuanians. As foreseen in the agreement, the prosecutor's office in the Russian Federation adopted the law. In my corp, there was the first Congress of the Adyghe people. So there were two flags here, the three-color Russian flag and the Adyghe flag. The republic will be part of Russia, The advantage of the new status is not to break up economic links, but on the contrary, to strengthen these links and establish new ones. The agreement was recently signed on economic cooperation with the areas of the Northern Caucasus. The Moscow Convention of Entrepreneurs is now over. They supported the roundtable proposal not to create a separate political party of entrepreneurs or businessmen. There would be was a decision, however, not to support those groups which were against the transition to a market economy. In Moscow, the Russian-American consultations on disarmament have concluded. Today was the last day where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs met with Reginald Bartholomew on the American side. This was an urgent case because they were discussing